The total in mods that I have on the C5 Corvette is... So, just how much exactly in mods have I spent? That doesn't make sense. Just how much money have I spent in mods on the C5 Corvette? Well, the answer is right here, but you're gonna have to wait.
Oh my God.
What is going on, you guys, and welcome back to DriveHub, and welcome back to another C5 Corvette video. I know you guys have been waiting for this. It seems the more C5 videos I put out, the more I realize just how many people love this thing. I didn't realize at first, and I didn't really think when I bought this thing, geez, almost 2 years ago now, of how much of an impact it would have on my channel and the growth of my channel in general, and the growth of my audience, and the growth of me. I think I've gotten taller.
A few moments later.
So yes, I did have to move from my old filming spot over there because some decided to come and park like right behind me while he could obviously see that I was filming. So I moved to another spot where it was more parking friendly. But anyways, in the last C5 Corvette video, well, actually the last C5 Corvette video, I attempted to do a donut. And I had no idea that the C5 would spin around so quickly. I mean, I knew it spun around quickly in the wet. I've played around with it before, but in the dry, I was not expecting it to just whip around so quickly. So I do need to go to a big empty parking lot sometime when it's dry and play around with the car a little bit more, because that was embarrassing. But it still sounded cool, and that's why I put it up. In the C5 Corvette video before that, I talked about all of the mods that are on the C5 Corvette. And you guys made it clear in the comments that you wanted to know how much each mod costs, which is a very fair argument. So that's exactly what we're gonna do in today's video. I'm gonna go over all of the costs of all the mods that I have on my C5 Corvette. And be sure to stay tuned to the end, because there is another mod kind of thing, I guess you'd call it a mod, that I did add to the car, and that comes in very, very handy. So stay tuned to the end and I'll show you guys what it is. And do not make fun of me. I do have all of this written down because I suffer from severe CRS, or can't remember shit. And there's quite a lot to remember, and I'm not very good with numbers. Now I'm gonna go in the same order that I did in the previous mod video, so that it kind of like follows along, so you can watch this video and then you can watch that video and put two and two together. So first up on the list, we move to the back. Up first on the list is the Sharplight Innovations taillights. Again, hands down one of the best mods for the C5. They look amazing. It's probably my favorite exterior mod, and these are $360. And you might as well stay on sharplightinnovations.com, because the next like 3 mods are all Sharplight Innovations, because they are simply the best. Now next up is the Sharplight Innovations LED fog lights. You can see them hiding in there. Boop, there they are. Those are a bargain at $55. While we're up here, we have the Sharplight Innovations corner marker lights / daytime running lights, whatever you want to call them. Tons of questions about these. That's probably the mod I get asked the most about. And these are $330 with the setup that I have. Next up on the list is the headlights. I'm not going to pop them up because the last mod video I made the mistake of leaving them on for just a few minutes too long. And the C5 drained its battery and was so dead that I couldn't even push start it. It was so dead I couldn't even roll the windows up. But again, Sharplight Innovations, they're the bi-LED headlights, and they are $675. One of the more expensive mods, but you're not gonna find a better set of headlights for the C5 anywhere. They're simply incredible. It's like driving around with the headlights off of a brand new BMW strapped to the front of your C5. I say it in every single video that I mention the headlights. Incredible, absolutely worth every single penny. Next up, again, one of my personal favorites, the C6 ZR1 style front splitter. I think it looks awesome on the C5. A lot of people hate it. That was probably one of the more controversial mods that I've done. And you can see, yes, it's a little bit banged up from when the C5's harmonic balancer blew apart and left me stranded on the side of the highway. So that's a little bit of damage from getting it onto our car trailer. And the best part about that is the C5 wasn't even lowered yet. It was at factory ride height. So now if I ever need to get this onto a trailer, which I'm probably completely jinxing myself, I sure hope I don't have to put this on a trailer or a ramp truck anytime soon, but I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I really don't. I'm gonna be screwed. Next up, we have something that's gonna be a little bit odd to put a price on. It's the C6 Corvette wheels. Now, I actually didn't write a price down for these because, well, you have two options. You can either go on Facebook Marketplace, go on Craigslist, and find a set of used OEM C6 base Corvette wheels. I've seen them all over the place online. I've seen them ranging from, you know, a couple $100s to like $1,000 if it has nice tires on it. I bought these ones off of my dad. He had these on his C6 convertible. This is what it came with from the factory. So I bought these for $400 off of him. Another option is you can go on a website, like I believe it's oewheels.com, or I'll put the actual website and I'll link it down below. You can buy like recreation or replica wheels of all OEM style wheels. Now, another mod on the outside that I almost forgot about is the VMS Racing lowering kit. Absolutely made a huge difference in the looks department of the C5. This thing looks killer now. It dropped it a ton. The front is a little bit higher. I have it up a little bit higher. And the back is actually at max height right now. And it still has that sort of fitment. Can barely fit my hand through there. The lowering kit on the back, it's actually just bolts. I don't know why they call it a lowering kit. But the lowering kit for the rear was a bargain at $47. And the front, again, a lowering kit, it's just bolts, is $38. So to lower your Corvette for under $100 without destroying the nice factory ride quality, well, that's an absolute bargain. And your Vette will look this good. So next up, we have to pop the hood to go over what's done under there. So under the hood here, again, we have one of the more expensive parts. And that actually wasn't even like, I guess you'd call it a mod. It was technically like a replacement part, but it's my ATI Super Damper harmonic balancer. I needed to replace my harmonic balancer, as you guys know. And this is like, it's an upgraded version, but it's like the nicest one that you can get. And I sure hope that I never run into the same problem that I had with my original harmonic balancer, which is a known weak point of the LS engines anyways. But you gotta pay to play, and the ATI Super Damper is not cheap. This one was $453. That's the price now, at least. And I want to say that's the same price as what I paid. I couldn't find my receipt. But to me, that was very, very well worth it to have the nicest replacement part slash like an upgrade to a known weak point of the engine. Well, I couldn't really show you the harmonic balancer, and I really can't show you the next part either. It's not really even a part, so you get to look at my bright smiling face instead. Next up on the engine mods is a tune from Granite State Dyno Tune. Alex did an awesome job with this thing. It was what, 328 wheel horsepower we got out of it, and 38 foot-pounds of torque to the wheels, of course. And again, I can't remember exactly correctly. I believe he gets around $500 for a tune, but you can see this mod, which is the Corvette mods, a dual ram air intake, and that is $120. Now, I wasn't even going to put this on the list because I technically didn't buy that. It was one of the two mods that came on the Corvette when I bought it, but $120, one of the cheaper performance mods that you can do to your C5. All right, we are all set with what's under there. Now we move to the back. Now this one, again, is a little bit difficult to put a price on. So it's the SLP loudmouth exhaust. Yes, I know they're crooked, okay. Problem here is SLP technically discontinued this system, but there are a few websites that I found that have them, Amazon included. Someone told me that there are two different models. There's an earlier version and a later version where the tips changed a little bit. Look, I cared more about the sound of it than the look of the tips. And what I do know is this system sounds amazing. It's super loud, super aggressive. It's very unique sounding, and it's hands down the best exhaust I think you can get if you're gonna keep the rest of your exhaust system factory. If you're just looking for a catback or technically an axle back system for the C5. But this one's super aggressive, and I wanted the loudest system that I could get while retaining the rest of the factory system. That is until I upgrade. But I paid, I believe it was around $350 or $400 for this used. Again, I found it on Facebook Marketplace, kind of bought it on a whim, but it was absolutely worth every penny to me. especially buying it used. I did have to bring it to Lou's Custom Exhaust, a muffler shop, and have them weld up different hangers. I don't know why, because this is supposed to fit my car, but that was only an extra like 40 or 50 bucks. You're looking at almost double that for an axle back system from like Corsa or Billy Boat. So, and this is louder, and that means better. And now we move into the interior, where there are, again, some of my favorite mods. I keep saying that about every mod. I feel like this one might be my favorite. But anyway, starting with the interior, we have something, again, pretty cheap. It's a good mod. It's not really a make or break. I didn't really add this on and think, wow, this is simply incredible. I kind of put this on to fix a problem I was having, and it didn't fix the problem, but it is something that I wanted anyways. And that is the C5R Delrin shift knob. You can see right here. Now, this is a nice mod. It definitely changes the feel of driving the C5. And this was only 45 bucks. I bought it to hopefully solve the rattling issue that I had. And unfortunately, this didn't fix it. Let's get this little thing out of the way so that we can talk about our next mod, which is, this actually might be either first or second on the list for my favorite mods.
Yeah, this one might be my favorite.
And this one I'm actually serious about. This is the Pioneer MVH 1400 NEX. It's the touchscreen radio. This thing is awesome. I love this thing to death. But you are going to pay to play with this one. And unfortunately, the price actually went up from when I bought it. I remember this thing only being 349 bucks on Amazon when I bought it. Now it's 500. Still on Amazon. At least it's with Prime. You'll get it in 2 days, and it's worth every single penny. It was a steal at 349 when I bought it. That was a year and a half ago now. In all honesty, I would pay almost double that to have this thing, because it's that good. It's the best aftermarket touchscreen radio I have ever used. I love this thing. It's amazing. It completely transforms and completely updates the C5 platform. Buy this thing and use my special link down in the description below. Please. I love you. And of course, you can't have the double DIN radio without the new double DIN center console surrounding area. And for this one, I went with a company called EcoTrick. Yes, everyone uses, there's another brand that I can't remember, but I didn't go with that one. The surrounding bezel that I used, again, from EcoTrick, it wasn't the one that everyone used. I believe the one is like Vet Nuts or something, some weird name like that, Vet Nuts. That one was huge money. This one was a bargain at 124 bucks, which I thought was a great price. I believe the other one from Corvette Nuts, or again, whatever the brand is like 300. No way I was paying double. The fitment on this one, well, speaks for itself. Don't mind the couple little scratches. I did have to paint this one myself, and it matches the interior extremely well, but I do drive this thing quite a bit. Now my amateur paint job is showing its flaws. But that's not the bezel's fault. That is the idiot behind the camera's fault. Hi. Now, something that you can't see in here that allows all of this to work is the access interface. I believe that's what it's called. It's basically an adapter that's somewhere in there that allows the Bose sound system, the Bose premium sound system, to be used with an aftermarket radio. That was $60. I believe you need it to install any aftermarket radio. I'm not sure what happens if you try to install it without that, but for $60, I would just avoid the problems altogether and just get it. And last but not least is the most recent mod item that I've added to the C5, and that is this. Let's just plug this bad Larry in.
Expand.
Yes, so I finally bought myself a radar detector. Actually, I bought this a year ago. I bought this thing a year ago after the Kangamangas cruise video that I did, where I rode in my buddy's Nissan 350Z because the C5 was broken. It was having its harmonic balancer issues. We went on that cruise with my dad, my brother, my friend Chris, and my brother got pulled over on the ride home. At the end of the video, you guys can see it. It's kind of a little Easter egg, so if you haven't seen that video, be sure to watch it all the way to the end to see that clip. The day after that happened, I bought this because the ticket was like $400 and something. It was up in northern New Hampshire. State police got him. Granted, I can't blame him. We sat in traffic all day long in that video. It was a complete shit show. So once we hit the highway, everyone was just kind of, you know, enjoying going more than 2 miles an hour. So the day after, I said, you know what? I can either spend $400 when I get a ticket, or I can spend $400 to avoid getting a ticket in general, or giving myself a chance against a ticket. With the way that I drive, I should have had one of these things, invested in one of these a long time ago. But my friend Dave, who swears by his, recommended the Uniden R3. This is what it looks like. It's got a nice screen up there. Oh, there we go. GPS, you can change all the colors and stuff. The Uniden R3 is one of the highest rated radar detectors on the market. I made sure I did tons and tons of research, like I always do before I spend any amount of money. Now on Amazon with my link, this is $300 on the dot. That's actually a price drop. I paid almost $400 for this thing last year, just a year ago. Something great to have in your Corvette or any car in general, just an extra bit of protection to keep you from spending that on a ticket. You can either spend the money on a ticket when you get one, or you can spend this kind of money to try to prevent that. I had to move shooting locations again because the camera was overtaken by Bilbo's lawnmower. But anyways, now we can go over the final cost of all the mods that I have on the C5 Corvette. The used parts, which is really only the wheels and the SLP exhaust. I put what I paid for those because that's a fair price, and you should be able to go on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and find those items for around that price. And for this first price, I didn't include the cost of the radar detector because I don't know if you'd really consider that a mod. So the total in mods that I have on the C5 Corvette is $4,272. That number sounded like a lot to me too, but granted, the entire C5 platform now is updated. It looks more modern, it performs more modern, it's faster, and it's got almost every modern amenity that I could hope to have in a car. I don't need my car to drive itself. I just wanted Apple CarPlay. Now the total with the radar detector, you can do the simple math, $4,572. So the complete kit that I have, all of my stuff, $4,572. I know the only stipulation is I didn't pay for the cold air intake, the ram air intake from Corvette Mods. That was on the car when I bought it. Not a huge price difference at $120, but I figured I would put that in the total. If someone wanted to completely outfit their Corvette like mine, well, that's what it's going to cost. Again, if you guys didn't see my beginning videos with the C5 Corvette, because when I bought this, it was bone stock besides that intake and a Borla catback system, or an axleback system, sorry. It's been an adventure, and I know you definitely probably can't touch a C5 Corvette right now in this market for even like sub 12 grand in this condition anyways. And again, all of the items will be linked down in the description below. Some of them are affiliate links. It doesn't cost you any more money. It's just like I referred you there, so they give me a small, a very small commission, but it just helps keep the lights on at the channel and helps me to keep making videos like this. And if you want to help me make more dumb financial decisions and add more stuff to the C5 Corvette, then you can go down below or at drivehubshop.com, pick yourself up a shirt, a sweatshirt. Again, that really helps support the channel, so thank you so much. And stay tuned, because I say it at the end of every video, but COVID's making everything so slow. I have a ton in the pipeline for this thing. I've been in email talks with something that's going to completely transform the C5, and another item that's going to actually, or items that's going to transform the C5 in a different way are actually on order. They're at the FedEx facility right now, and they've been there for 2 weeks, so I don't know if something's wrong, but something very cool is coming. So if you haven't yet subscribed, now is the perfect time. Hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Happy motoring.